I don't see the game in the list, but I tried the IP and I think it's loading in. I think.
Yeah. But like if it doesn't work, oh.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It works. Nice.
Okay.
That was honestly that was easier than I thought.
Yes, yes.
Oh.
Playing Stalker together. A dream come true.
So
No, it looks fine.
it
Movement
looks
is
actually
smooth.
pretty good. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Let's see. Let's go. So I guess we just like go do some missions or something, and see like fight some enemies and.
Yes, yes, yes.
Let me be straight with you, so you know where this video is coming from. I'm not big into multiplayer games in general. I like doing my own thing at my own pace. I still play some multiplayer games sometimes, but when I look at the ones I really enjoy, like Rust or Daisy, I mostly play them solo actually, me against the world kind of style. I was thinking about doing some Rust videos at some point on the channel because for some reason I really love this degenerate game, but I'm a horrible, toxic person in Rust, so I'm not sure I want people to see me under that light. Anyways, I mainly enjoy moody, atmospheric, solo experiences with good lore and story, and that's why I love the Stalker franchise so much, all the story mods, because it ticks all of these boxes perfectly. So I've been aware of all these Stalker multiplayer mods for a while, but I never really looked into them. There's been a lot of projects coming and going over the years. I think Ray of Hope was one of the first ones, but it's been 10 years in development so far, and we're still waiting on an actual release. It's pretty much a meme at this point. And a lot of other projects share the same fate, start very ambitious with lots of ideas and get dropped along the way because of technical challenges, scope creep, or everything in between. And there's been a lot of drama and controversies too, because that wouldn't be fun otherwise, from straight up fraud with projects raising money from fans for development and running away with the cash without delivering anything, to more scummy variants like Stalker Rat, Stalker Together, Anomaly Together, whatever the new name this project is hiding behind these days, that puts everything behind a paywall. I mean, $7 a month to have non-priority tech support just to know how to install your mod sounds like a deal, I guess. Maybe I should get the $500 package. It's on sale right now, $500 a month. What a steal. I'm not going to go into the whole monokit lore, but let's say there's a lot of people using and abusing the fans' goodwill and wallet because people get really excited when you tell them they can play their favorite game with their friends. It's been a long-standing dream for a lot of them, and that makes them vulnerable to these scummy practices, unfortunately. And technically, yes, for this example of Anomaly Together, there's a free basic version available, but that's bait, that's how they get you. If every modder was behaving like this, there would be no Stalker modding community. Never forget it when people are trying to push this kind of projects. And it wouldn't be the Stalker community without even bigger degenerates like Stalker Belarus that seems to have the same issues as Anomaly Custom. I mean, you don't rename all your game files .zov for no reason, so yeah, probably some branded weirdos over there that we're gonna ignore. All of this to show why I never really talked about multiplayer mods. I've never been interested in navigating this minefield. But there is one project that seems to stand above everything else, a project that actually works, is easy to use, has a serious dev team behind it, updating regularly with English translation and support, and is completely free, and that's xrMPE, X-Ray Multiplayer Extension. We're gonna talk about the main branch of the project today, which lets you play Call of Pripyat, so the third Stalker game, in co-op with your friends. There's an offshoot of the project called Shadow of Co-op that lets you do the same with Shadow of Chernobyl, but let's do one at a time. I haven't tried that one yet. If I had to resume my whole experience with xrMPE so far in one sentence, it's that I've been extremely impressed and it blew all my expectations. I dragged some of my coffee supporters into this to play together and try the mod extensively. Ironically, they were not big into multiplayer games either, just like me, and we had an absolute blast. I think we were all expecting extreme levels of jank, bugs, lags, issues, setting up everything, so I can't really describe the feeling of seeing the other person in game in front of you, everything working perfectly in like 5 minutes, and jumping straight into doing missions and starting the main questline together. It almost felt unreal. Let me talk about the whole experience in order so I don't miss anything. First, the mod has its own website and a ModDB page with all the information and download links you need. There's still a Discord if you need help, but it's absolutely not necessary, and this is already beautiful. By the way, I will have an installation tutorial in a separate video coming out soon. It's not fully necessary, but just in case, and probably some fun gameplay on the secondary channel, so go check it out. They built a very nice launcher to tie the room together, and that's from there that you're going to install, update everything, create your own server, and so on. Already here, I was impressed how professional and well made everything was. Creating and joining games is very easy, and there's even a way to invite each other through Steam. It really takes not even 5 minutes to get started. And when you're in game, I think the first thing we noticed is how everything was really well thought out for multiplayer. You pretty much have all the features you can expect from a modern game. You have voice chat, so you can communicate with people directly in game if you want to. I'm assuming it's very useful if you join public servers to play with random people. By the way, you can see the lips moving when talking, which is really cool. It's nothing huge, but small details like this make a difference, and there's a ton of examples of that level of attention to details we're gonna talk about. You have a full gesture system, which is part of a whole animation rework, so you can see yourself and friends reload, eat, drink, heal, basically use items and everything else in real time, which is not in the original game, and it's great for immersion in general. You can put a marker on anything with a simple click, which is extremely useful to communicate, mark enemies or locations, or just for basic strategy. That's the beauty when you play together. You can say, go there, I'll flank from here, be careful, there's an anomaly here, pretty much anything you can imagine. There's also a revive system, so instead of getting killed straight away, you fall to the ground and can crawl to safety while you wait for a friend to revive you. You can still be killed easily when downed, so you have to be rescued or take cover pretty fast. But it's really nice because if the game was over as soon as someone in the party gets killed and you have to load back your latest save, you would spend more time watching loading screens than actually playing, so it's another very nice and very well implemented system. You can give each other items straight from your inventory if you stand close enough to each other. No need to throw them on the ground for the other person to pick them up or anything like that. I thought that's the way you would have to do it at the beginning, and that's what I mean when I say I've only been pleasantly surprised with all the new features implemented with multiplayer in mind. And all the stashes are shared in real time, so you can order, share and stash loot with absolutely no issues. We wanted to push the mod a little bit to see if we could find bugs, so we tried to break quest on purpose in every way we could think of to see if the whole multiplayer was implemented well, and honestly it's one of the parts that impressed me the most, because I was expecting some serious jank and issues here. Like one person takes a quest but the other one completes it and asks for the reward and it works, or one person takes a quest, you have to talk to an NPC next, so the other player talks to the NPC and then the other person completes the quest and gets the reward, and it works too. Like quest where you have to pick up items, we all pick them up, not just one person who took the quest, and yeah, it works. I think we tried every single scenario where you could like confuse the game or at least like cause an issue, and I'm not saying there's no bugs, there's some and we'll talk about them later, but it's been working pretty much flawlessly, which is wild for a Stalker game. And we very quickly went from being scared of breaking something because we didn't do all the steps exactly like they're supposed to be done, which is an issue that a lot of story mods suffer from, for example, to simply playing carelessly and just enjoying the game and progressing the main questline, which is a huge achievement. I know I'm repeating myself, but I can't stress enough how everything just works. I keep saying how the modding community is insane, but the devs behind this mod are really blowing my mind. From what I understand, this is built on a fork of the Extra engine, so you can't really use the regular mods from Call of Pripyat with this. I honestly don't think it's really necessary, as the UI and PDA were reworked very nicely, weapons have the gunslinger animation, and there's a couple extra guns that are not in the OG game for some extra variety. There's some graphical, sound improvements, and a lot of other little things, but it still feels like the OG game, which I think is the most important part. Performance overall is great, and the networking behind the mod is definitely solid. We played without any issues, no lag, no desync, everything is pretty seamless. I think we had one disconnection in almost 15 hours of gameplay, which is probably my shitty internet and nothing to do with the mod itself, and that's it pretty much. I think for the people that come from Stalker 2 or Gamma that never played the original games and are not interested in them because they look dated or whatever, this, playing them in coop with friends, might be the way for them to discover the original stories and lore. Right now, on top of the coop mod, you have a defense mod you can play, which is fine. It gets a bit repetitive, but you can use it as a warm-up. You basically fight waves of mutants, need to pick up loot around you to help you survive as long as you can, with a good selection of map to play actually. All these other game mods are not available yet, but honestly some of them sound pretty interesting on paper, so I can't wait for them to be released. And the devs also released a brand new winter short story to play. I'm assuming it was to celebrate Christmas and New Year. It's actually nice and cute. You basically have to prepare Rookie Village for the holidays, go fight bandits to get back the Christmas tree they stole, sneak into the military base to steal some champagne, and a lot of unique tasks for random stalkers like finding a lost pet and things like this. It's nothing crazy, but we actually enjoyed it. It reminds you that people in the zone are people and can just chill and share their stories for a while. It doesn't need to be Strelog, sea consciousness, sci experiments, monoliths taking over the world intensity all the time. Like, you can relax and just enjoy the zone pretty much. Now let's talk quickly about the bugs or what's not so great, because the mod is obviously not perfect. For the things we actually experience, I think cutscenes sometimes being a bit buggy, where not everyone can see them correctly, and transitions between different maps not working correctly are the two main things. I've read a lot of other issues people had in some reviews, like quest breaking, not triggering correctly, getting softlock, not being able to interact with NPCs or stashes, but I can't really talk about them in details because despite our best efforts, we didn't have that many issues and we didn't experience those. The save system works through the launcher, which is a bit inconvenient, but I'm assuming it's probably like a technical limitation and they couldn't do much about it. The additions and removal of some weapons might make some purists complain. It's not exactly like in the OG game, true, but personally I don't really mind. The marker system I talked about before is great, but I wish it worked just pinging anything. Right now the other players only see it if you mark a specific NPC or mutant. It would be much more useful if you could just mark anything. The system is already implemented, so it's a shame you can't just mark anomalies, buildings, or just a direction in general. And you can play with up to 4 players, but everyone needs to be here when you create the game the first time. Let's say you start the adventure with one friend, progress the story, and another friend wants to join in. It's not possible. Everybody needs to be in the original lobby when the game is created to be able to play. But after that, anybody can come and go. You can even play solo if you want, but everybody has to be here at the beginning. And I think that's it, honestly. It's a completely new way to discover the zone. The shared exploration is really fun. It's not perfect, but it's already a really stable and polished experience. So I can't talk about the public servers, they're probably gonna be hit or miss, but if you have friends, you should definitely give it a try. It's a really impressive mod technically and a really fun experience.